go ahead and click on the think button for me. And you should see what is on my screen. Does everyone see that?
Yeah, is it a big?
Yeah.
No. When we click it, it says information.
I just typed in Jayla.
Yeah, so if it asks you to type in a name, just type in your first name. First and last, doesn't matter. And I'm going to go ahead and move my thing over here. So are we all ready to go? Okay, so can someone read this first question for me? Go ahead.
Where in bed was the Declaration of Independence adopted by the Constitution?
Philadelphia, July 1776.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is Continental Congress. And the answer is A. Yeah. Philadelphia, July 17th, 1776.
Yeah, second one too.
Okay. Well, let's hold on for a second. We're still on number 1. So everyone, what you're going to do is you're going to click on A. It's going to ask you if you want to save your answer. You're going to save it, and it should tell you that you're correct. Cool. So second question, who wants to read it for me? Go ahead.
The man most responsible for writing the Declaration of Independence was...
Who was it?
Thomas
Yep.
Jefferson.
So it was Thomas Jefferson. And who nominated him? Yep. Okay, so go ahead and click Thomas Jefferson. It should be C. Save that answer. All right, next question. Who wants to read this one for me? Go ahead, Harley.
According to the narration, the assignment to write the Declaration was assigned to the Committee of 5 Men.
Yeah, so it was assigned to a committee of 5 men. Thomas Jefferson was originally not a part of that committee. There were only 4 men, like it said in the video. And then eventually, like y'all just told me, John Adams invited the not so well known Thomas Jefferson to join the club. All right. Next one. Who wants to read this one? Go ahead.
According to the narrative, Congress eliminated from the Declaration of reference to
So what did they delete?
slavery.
Yes, they deleted slavery. They thought it was too soon for them to talk about slavery because it was a very controversial issue. Plus, as we all know, the founding fathers were not that good at compromise. Probably would have taken a hot second. Okay, next question. Who wants to read it for me? Go ahead.
According to the legend, John Adams thought Americans would celebrate its independence on July 2nd?
Yes. So the answer is July 2nd. So July 2nd was the day that the Declaration of Independence was presented to the Continental Congress. Because of all the corrections and proofreading and change that they needed to make, it took 2 days, which is why our Independence Day is celebrated on
July 4th.
Yeah, July 4th. So just like when you are writing a paper for Miss Eller, you have to proofread it before you turn it in. Same thing with this. No different. So the answer is B, like we just talked about. Cool. So with these questions, they're fill-in-the-blank answers. Don't worry about answering it. Don't worry about typing it in. We're just going to talk about it. So can someone read this one for me? Go ahead.
As the lesson points out, Jefferson used to work of other writers. Why do you think he did this?
Okay, so why do you think that he used other people's words within the Declaration of Independence and not just his own? Go ahead.
So he wouldn't get all the credit even though he wrote it, but he never got the ideas.
Right. Are there any other ideas? Okay, so that's correct. Another reason is because this Declaration of Independence was supposed to represent all the colonists in all 13 colonies. So if only 5 men wrote it, who happened to be wealthy men who owned property, they didn't really represent the whole population. So their ideas and their thoughts about how or why we should have independence were not necessarily the same ideas as everyone else. Cool? All right, moving on, next one. Nope, you don't have to write on, just go ahead and click the next button. Who wants to read it for me? Go ahead, in the back.
What might have happened if the men of Congress who opposed slavery did not go along with the decision to remove Jefferson's reference to slavery?
Anybody have any ideas about this? Is the question kind of confusing?
No.
The king might have like taken this as a threat or trying to be framed or something. And he might have like declared war on America even sooner.
Okay. Yeah. Any other ideas? Do I need to kind of go over what it means in layman's terms, so to speak? Yes, no, yes? Okay. So, what this means is that there were some men in Congress who wanted to abolish slavery. Abolish means end slavery. So, they walk in here, and all of a sudden Jefferson's like, nah. Like, other men are like, nah, we're just going to remove this. But they're like, no, I think we should talk about it now because we need to abolish slavery. So how do you think that disagreement affected things? How do you think it would have affected things? Go ahead.
Maybe slavery would have ended if they would have took it out.
Yeah, so that's definitely a possibility. Slavery could have totally been abolished right here, right now with the Declaration of Independence. JC?
It also struck that rivalry, but it could also struck people who did think it was okay.
Right.
Because Congress was not a lot of people. It was, you know, mixed, so that it wasn't all one side.
Right, for sure. Go ahead.
People who had slaves would, if they were free, then they would probably lose a lot of money.
Yeah, that's correct. And we all know that the lovely writer of the Declaration of Independence happened to own slaves. So Thomas Jefferson probably wouldn't have liked that too much. All right, next question. Number 8, who wants to read this one for me? Go ahead.
How could a man who sold their lives and fortunes to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness accept slavery?
Any ideas?
Maybe they didn't see anything wrong with it and they didn't really see them as the same level as the.
Yeah. So did they view slaves as humans?
No.
Did they view them as property?
Yes.
Okay. Only humans have these natural born rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, since they believed that slaves were not humans, then they also justified that by saying, well, they don't deserve these natural rights because they're not humans and only humans deserve these natural rights. Make sense? Okay, any questions? Let me know. Yes, we're going to go to the discuss next. Okay? Same thing with the discuss. I'm going to pull it up. You do not have to type anything in. We're just going to talk about it. So, can someone read this for me? Go ahead.
Do you think the Civil War would have still happened if slavery had been included in the Declaration of Independence?
What you think? Talk to me. Tricky. Isn't it?
I feel like yes,
Yeah.
but then no.
Okay, so if you say yes, explain why. I need a reason.
Well, it wasn't just about slavery. There's a lot more reasons why they had the Civil War.
Okay, why do we have the Civil War besides just slavery?
But no one can split off anything.
Yeah, so Lincoln wanted to keep the Union together. So the Civil War wasn't just about slavery. So yeah, it probably still would have happened because it wasn't just about slavery. Go ahead.
It's mainly about economy.
Yes. Yeah, and the economy for sure. Any other thoughts? Any ideas? Okay. So we are going to go ahead and move on to the next activity.